Come on, Facebook. There it goes. What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Just gonna do a little video here to pat myself on the back, to be honest. And then I'm gonna talk a little bit about my mining. So we're gonna look at the Bitcoin price. We're gonna look at how right I was. Oh, pardon my audio. Just gonna do a little video here to pat myself on the back, to be honest. There. I'll fix that for you guys. But yeah, at any time, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them either on my Facebook or on my YouTube, wherever you're watching, and I will be happy to answer any questions. So in this video, basically, guys, I'm going to look at the chart, the same exact chart as I showed you guys last night, and show you guys exactly what happened between last night when I made the call that we were going to bounce and what's going on right now. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about my mining and what my whole plan is with that since I turned off my auto rebuy, and we'll go from there. So let me just go ahead and flip over to my screen share here. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, I think it should be on screen share. Yes, I'm on screen share. Okay, so here's the exact same chart as I showed you guys last night when I went live. Okay, and we were right around this point last night. Okay, and at this point, I was saying that, you know, we're probably going to experience a bounce because just because of the way that the patterns went. Basically, we had this, let me get out of this tool. We had this second parabolic advancement that kind of happened, and then, you know, that's when all the panic set in, right? When Bitcoin sort of did this kind of thing and crashed out. We had three big Vader sticks there and started dropping out, and then the panic set in, and that's when all the selling happened. All right, so, or most of the selling, that's when we had a lot of sell volume. This was our peak sell volume here when we had these three candles. All right, and the panic set in, and, you know, Bitcoin's dying, it's crashing, and then I called this pattern in my trading group and a few other groups. I didn't go live for that part. But once we ended up down around this area, that's when I decided to go live on Facebook and YouTube and say that I was, you know, I'm calling a bounce, guys. The bounce is going to happen. And I told you guys that my trading plan said in this area it was buy time. All right. So anything that I still had sitting in my Tether holdings, I dumped right back into Bitcoin. And then it went down a little bit more. Fine. Whatever. Don't care. When my trading plan says to make a move, I make a move, and I don't question my trading plan because generally, as long as I follow my plan, I will make money. Okay, so that's where I decided to, you know, go live and make the call. Went down a little bit, and the bounce happened. And guys, the reason I called this, I mean, I was charting this bigger pattern, okay? This big megaphone pattern, which is also called a broadening wedge. It's slightly out because I keep changing my chart around. But I called this pattern when we made this bounce right in here, okay? So let me zoom in again. When we made this bounce, right, that's when I drew this pattern. I said, well, we're megaphoning. It's megaphoning because it's going outwards, okay? So you can either call this a megaphone pattern, which is the least proper way to call it, or you call it a descending, broadening wedge, because it's like a wedge, but it's going the wrong way. It's broadening, not narrowing, right? So that's when I recognized that pattern going on, and I said, well, I'm gonna use this line based off this point and this point, and the third point, I said, well, that's gonna start acting as a support, and it ended up doing so. Okay, even though it blew through here a little bit, it still returned to support very quickly, so I still call it a support. And then what happened, guys, was you know, as this pattern was going, I noticed, I mean, this line I can go ahead and delete because it's no longer relevant. Right, but we had this, you know, our resistance line. Okay, so the resistance line of our trend. Then we had a support line of a, you know, a smaller trend. Okay, there's always trends within trends within trends, and patterns within patterns within patterns. Okay, like every time I zoom out, I mean, if I go way out, I mean, we have another trend line here. I got trend lines all over the place, right? But depending on the time frame you're looking at, I mean, you're going to consider, you know, multiple sizes of patterns and trends and things like that in order to form a better opinion of what the market's doing, right? So we created between this line of resistance, okay, and this line of resistance, we created this narrowing pattern, which we just call a falling wedge or descending wedge. And it's wedging, right? It's because like we're so wide over here, and then we still keep getting narrower and narrower and narrower. We have multiple points of contact along the top, along the bottom, okay? And it keeps getting narrower, narrower, and narrower, right? So that means the price has to make a decision. Generally, on a falling wedge, it's going to break out to the top. Now, it doesn't always happen, but it's supposed to happen in more cases than not. So again, that was another pattern that I said last night in my video, and I said my trading plan says to buy. So I buy, right? And I don't question my trading plan. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I lose money. Whatever, right? And then this happened. Okay? So here's the next thing. It did go down a little bit farther, but let me go into my tools. Okay? And we had this pattern like this. Okay? So there's our pattern. So we had a pattern that's called a head and shoulders. Okay, well, it's more specifically an inverse head and shoulders. So you'll see me most of the time, I will abbreviate this. If it was the other way, you'd see me abbreviate it as H and S. In this direction, I would abbreviate it as I, H, and S for inverted head and shoulders, okay? And this, again, because it's upside down, it's inverted, right? It tells us that it's a bullish pattern. So finally, not only did my larger patterns confirm, my really large pattern confirm, I had a really small pattern confirm a bounce. And then also, guys, I said yesterday, I gotta turn my auto off here. Yesterday, I was telling you guys about the divergence that we had between the price action, which was falling, and RSI, which was coming in an upward direction, which was a divergence. Okay, so last night I called this based on one pattern, two patterns, okay, and a divergence was 3 signals that tell me we're going to have a bounce. And even though it went down a little bit more, then I had the 4th signal that says we're going to have a bounce. And of course, this was while I was sleeping, right? Because I remember opening my phone at like, I don't know what time this was, like 4 o'clock in the morning, my time or something like that. And I seen somebody post, oh, Bitcoin's at 9K, and I'm like, oh, fuck, it's crashing. You know, and then I got up and it was doing its thing, and then I identified this head and shoulders pattern, you know, forming. I figured it was happening when I seen this dildo going on, and then this red candle. I said, okay, we should head and shoulders, and my bounce should still confirm. So, guys, you know, a lot of people say that technical analysis, so it's just magic lines drawn on a chart and they don't mean anything. But when you apply them to a trading plan and you use the patterns in conjunction with risk management and with the psychology of the way the markets work, because you got to figure there's hundreds of thousands of other people out there who are using these same patterns, these same indicators, these same technical analyses, all right? And they're going to make the trades based on the same information. So you use that psychology, use the psychology of the market in order to make your decisions, all right? So I told you guys, that was my buy time. I was right. Pat on the back, we're going up. And we're going to go up probably, again, we're still in this descending the broadening wedge, so I'm looking at a peak here of about 13,800, give or take, okay? So 13,800, I think we're going to get there, and then see what happens. Either we have to blow through this upper line in order to go any farther, and then we're going to go to the next resistance line, all right? Again, like I don't in this particular case, I don't chart Fibonacci's, all right? I don't care about that whole stuff. Other people say otherwise, but I don't care about Fibonacci's. I care about support, resistance, patterns, and averages, okay? And the reason I have Ichimoku is because it's basically moving averages on steroids. Guys, I'm saying bounce confirmed, all right? So any questions about charting? Any questions about Bitcoin price right now? And I will address those before I move on. What's going on, guys? Carrie Ann, thanks for joining. Frank, Esteban, Eder, I don't know how to pronounce your name, bud. You still never clarified that for me. Blair, Christopher, Shizzy, Fidelis, Donald, Ranginui. Sorry, I have a hard time with some people's names. Nick, Sahal, Mark, Gregory, thanks for jumping on, guys. If you guys have any questions, go ahead, drop them on my Facebook right now. Or I should go and check my YouTube as well. Yeah, and I'm still on screen share. Keep an eye on ICX, Korean baby. It will be huge. Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about ICX in my groups. I should pop up a chart on that here. Why don't I do that right now? Let's take a look at ICX. Because TradingView added Binance, so I should be able to get it. Yeah, baby. All right. Yeah, we're taking a bounce. Pretty well every market is taking a bounce right now that I looked at, okay? Ethereum bouncing. Even Ethereum against Bitcoin. It would have been a good idea to be holding all Ethereum when the bounce happened, because you would have not only gained dollars, you would have gained Bitcoin as well. I did not have any Ethereum when the bounce happened. Still thinking about grabbing some Ethereum. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. NBT is not doing good for me. I rode this all the way up, guys. I should go and dump this, but I'm going to wait for a retracement up, and then I'm going to dump it probably. But I rode this all the way up. There was a guy through the crash, the Bitcoin crash. Obviously, I need something to do because sitting there watching is boring. I rode this all the way up, but I noticed there was a bot trading on Bittrex to the tune of 100 Bitcoins, whether in one direction or the other. Now he's trading with like 90 Bitcoins, 90 Bitcoin walls each in the buy wall and sell wall. So I was playing his walls all the way up because it was an automated bot that was trading. And I played it. I started buying in around 8,200, and I sold this peak at 10,005. And I bought again down here in the retrace, but it looks like it's dying out. So I'm going to wait for a bump up and go and analyze what this guy is doing. Because we have a bearish divergence going on here anyway. It's been bearish divergence since, way back here. By bearish divergence, I mean price actions going up. Okay, and RSI over here has been going downwards, so it's a divergence. It's different. It's doing the opposite, so that's got to resolve itself before I really do much else. I mean, yeah, I'll decide what I'm going to do here in a little bit, but I'm not out. I'm still way ahead on that trade because I've been buying it since down here and, sort of accumulating the bumps and selling as tips, just like totally exploiting what the bot is doing. Vibe is one of my bags. I gotta wait for this to get back to 11K. And again, I didn't have a stop loss set, and it dove while I was sleeping, so I just hodl. Again, position size is key. The reason that I can have a coin like this drop 50% and not even flinch is because of my position size. So all you guys that are like, oh, this coin's going up, and you put all your money on that coin, right? And then it goes down 5% and you start complaining. Well, the reason is because your position size is way out of whack to the size of your portfolio. When I'm playing shit coins, I never put any more than 5% of my portfolio in any shit coin because it's a shit coin. It can go to shit in a hurry. Same with Rise as a bag, not as bad. I only got to get like 30% and I'll be like making money. NXT is like almost back to my buy-in because of this freaking pumps going on. So I'm happy about that. All my other charts are dead right now because my browser died, so I'll have to pull that up. But I'm saying bounce is confirmed. Like we're gonna retrace down, up and down, up and down. But I think we're gonna make our way up to about 13,007 or 13,008. And as far as ICX, I mean every freaking market is bouncing right now, and yeah, ICX has been on a bull run. Is it a new coin on Binance? Is that the beginning of the data? So it just, well, new being December. It's been out for a month. Cool. All right. I don't know anything about the coin though, so and I gotta check out fundamentals before I can really talk about the coin itself. But from a technical standpoint, every freaking coin is bouncing right now. I'm the one here. Only one here. Nice. ICX has a lot of support from universities in Korea. Team is great, and Koreans love cryptos. 3 years from now, it will be in high hundreds. Yeah, cool. Like I say, I gotta check out the fundamentals in order to understand some more. What are you guys saying on Facebook? Nice. I don't hope we're gonna see this kind of dip again this year. We seen this exact kind of dip 6 times in 2017 or 7 times in 2017, something like that. So yeah, we're gonna see this multiple times this year. I mean, just wait until Just wait until you're seeing Bitcoin that's $50,000 and it crashes to $20,000. You know, it's like it's gonna keep going on forever because we're in the Wild West. I'm gonna see this happen many times. Um, did it reach what I told you, 8K, then pull back? Yeah, you know, exactly. Basically, your call was the exact same call as I made. I mean, you said 8K euros, right? And I was calling 10K BTC, so it went down to 9, just outside, which is a not a very big difference, just outside of what I said, and you know, and did it. So yeah, I mean, our calls were good, and Eater's calls were based on moving averages. So if you want to learn about moving averages, I mean, give him a inbox or something. A parabolic on 60-minute BTC dollar. Yeah, it sure. Hopefully, it turns parabolic. Yeah. And goes upward because I would really like to cash out some money because I'm broke right now and I got to pay some bills. And I don't like selling the dip, so I'd rather go pay my bills with a credit card while Bitcoin's down because I know Bitcoin's gonna double, and then I can pay my credit cards and have a whole bunch of money left over. Um, ICX, I think, is Icon. I think you're right about that. You are, yep, MA and EMA. Yeah, the only thing, Ader, I noticed that you use an EMA for your slow moving average and an MA for your fast moving average. When I use moving averages, I do it the other way around. But cool, I mean, it still works. Whatever works for you, right? That is how it builds pressure. It goes down, builds pressure, and shoots back up. Big highs. Yeah, basically rubber banding, right? Awesome. Anything else here on over here? Cool. Okay. So guys, what's going on with my mining? All right. So 2 days ago, I haven't put an update on my Facebook. You see me posting my pictures where I take my hash rate and my daily forecast and slam them together, and then I post that as a picture on Facebook. And the reason I'm doing that is because I promised you guys exactly two things. One, I'm going to build this up to 100 terahashes, and second, I'm going to document my journey. Okay, so that's the reason I'm doing it. It's not about bragging, you know. And my earnings are shit anyway. I mean, they were up to $24 a day, right? But then Bitcoin price took a shit, so obviously my earnings are lower. But the Bitcoin value is what's most important to me because I know Bitcoin's going up anyway, right? So I'm not worried. But I haven't been posting the images lately because I shut off. In here you have your reinvestment. It's basically an auto rebuy, and I turned this back to do not reinvest because the price of Bitcoin was going so fucking low that and buying hash rate is tied to the dollar that it made no sense for me to be buying hash power with my earnings when Bitcoin's so low. If I just wait a week, I'll be able to get twice as much hash power for the same amount of Bitcoin. And even though my dollars look like shit right now, I'm making the same amount of Bitcoin every day, you know, or well, slightly less than I started because difficulty shot up again. But that's okay. I'm not worried about that, right? So basically, I'm just accumulating Bitcoin here in my mining account, and then in like a week or two, I'll reinvest it all into more hashing power because I told you guys I'm going to get to 100 terahashes, and I'm getting to 100 terahashes before I pull anything out. So, and obviously I'm not doing that just with earnings. Obviously I'm going to invest a bunch more money into this as well out of my trading earnings. It's just that when Bitcoin's half the price as it was 2 weeks ago, there's no point in selling my Bitcoin for something that's tied to the dollar. So I'm just kind of waiting right now. When Bitcoin pumps, I'm going to dump a shitload more into here. And I also bought my own mining rig. So I'm going to be mining, guys, I'm going to be mining probably some Neoscript coins. I did this up. So I got, I ordered 6 NVIDIA GTX 1070s. So I got 6 in here. All right. And set that up. Guys, you can come in here if you want to estimate your earnings for a mining rig you're going to build. You come in here, you put numbers in all the different cards that you're buying and make sure you click them on, turn them green. Or if they're not green, they're not actually calculating. So I got 6 1070s, which is going to produce me. I'm probably going to be mining some Neoscript coins because it's the best money right now. So it'll be 6,000 kilohashes on Neoscript. I have zero desire to mine Ethereum, and I'll show you why. So you go down and it's calculated. So my 6 cards, basically I got, so far I spent 2,600 US. I still got to get a processor, power supply, you know, cables, PCI Express risers, and a cheap solid state drive and a CPU. But I can get all that shit for like $500. So I got $2,600 in. I got another 500 bucks I got to spend. So I'll be about 31, 32, 3,200 was my target for this rig. So let's assume 3,200, and my returns are going to be about 30 bucks a day on this rig, for mining a Neoscript coin, which, you know, could drop out. The other day, Vivo was higher. Fine. I mean, the benefit of having your mining rig at home, doing it yourself with your own hardware, is I can mine whatever freaking coin I want whenever I want to mine it based on profitability. So there's a bunch of Neoscript coins. There's an Ethash coin that jumped up, and it's just because of a price jump right now. There's Equihash coins, but quite regularly. It's very regular for Equihash and Neoscript coins to be more profitable than Ethereum. And you see basically the way that they price it, the way they do the percentage comparison on the right is Ethereum is, you know, they consider that 100%. And anytime you're earning more than you would on Ethereum, it, you know, it shows up as, you know, a higher percentage, right? So right now, this GoByte GBX coin, which is a Neoscript coin, is earning 197% of what you would earn if you were just mining Ethereum, right? And the 7-day average is at 155%. So guys, if you're building a freaking mining rig at home, I don't understand why you guys want to mine Ethereum, right? And for that reason, that's why I didn't get any RX 580s, which is, you know, basically the, here, I'll put 6 of those in there, okay? And we'll put RX 580s, okay? And then I got to hit calculate. So if I bought RX 580s instead, I can run a rig 6 of those, except here's the thing. AMD cards are way better at processing Ethash, okay, than they are at Neoscript or Equihash or whatever, okay? So I could have bought 5 RX 580s and I could have got them in stock, okay, because everybody wants the NVIDIA cards right now, and I could make $20 a day. Or I can get 6 1070s, even though I had to pre-order them, and there's a 2-week shipping date. They got a shipping date for 2 weeks from now, which is fucking awesome because NVIDIA is backed up on these cards, and get 6 of these cards for like slightly more cost and a little bit of waiting time. But now I'm making 30 bucks a day because like NVIDIA is just that much better at mining everything except for Ethereum. So that's what I did, guys. So I got that on order. I can't wait for it to get here. But still, guys, so I'm going to be doing Neoscript and Equihash coins at home. As far as SHA-256 coins, which is Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, you know, I forget the other ones, right? But this is purely Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash mining. I have zero desire to buy Antminers and other SHA-256 ASIC hardware, just because the thing is when the profitability is done, obviously difficulty goes up, then you lose your profitability, right? You have nothing to sell, because if it's not profitable to run an Antminer S9, nobody's going to buy it from you. So that's why when I'm cloud mining SHA-256 at the moment. I might put a little bit of money into Scrypt later, but I'm not worried about that. My main focus in cloud mining is SHA-256 algorithm, and when I got my rig built at home, I will not touch a SHA-256 coin, obviously, because it's not profitable, right? And instead, I'll be doing something like Neoscript and Equihash coins, right? So, guys, if you're going to get into mining, either A, you need technical knowledge, build a freaking rig, set up the programming, flash your BIOS if you bought a shitty motherboard that's not made for mining, you know, do that. So you got to have the technical knowledge. Or if you want to do cloud mining, which I also do and I also recommend, right? Hit me up, inbox me. I'll shoot you guys a link to get into Hashflare, and you know, get in here and participate with me. I love it. So those are my avenues of income right now. I've been looking at so many other business opportunities and shit, and I have zero desire to promote anybody else's company right now, just because of all the regulations and everything that are coming down. Basically, we've got I mean, you guys know I was in USI Tech and I promoted that heavily. It still looks like they intend on paying us, which is awesome. You know, I've always felt pretty good about that company, and they're still doing business everywhere except for USA and Canada because of regulations. They just pulled out of North America. And then you got other people who invested in BitConnect, which I never did because I never liked their business model whatsoever. I don't like the lending coin business model at all. It's just, to me, it's just a scheme, you know, whereas USI Tech actually had a business model, even if it, you know, a lot of it wasn't, you know, public. They actually had a business model, so I like that a lot better. And in the case of BitConnect, I never liked their business model, but did you guys see BitConnect, the price of BitConnect? I gotta do this. I gotta go back to my screen share. Did you guys see the price of BitConnect today? So they are facing, look at that, even higher now. Oh, what am I looking at? Oh, that's ICX. Sorry, but yeah, cool. Should have bought that shit. Um, did you guys see BitConnect? You're this stupid ad. Oh, it came up. Look at that. It was down 90%. Now it came up. I seen it. It was like, it went down as like what, $3-4 or something, and like a couple of days ago. But it's down 80% because BitConnect started getting pressured from regulators. Okay, and instead of pulling out of USA and Canada, they're shutting completely down. They were complaining about attacks on the website, and they're complaining about regulators. Obviously got cease and desist orders, just like USI Tech did. But they shut down their lending program, and they're shutting down, apparently, according to the news, they're shutting down their entire website coming up here. So that's all done. So I don't understand why the price is coming up. Like, who even wants to buy this freaking coin right now? I'm glad I owned 0 of these. I've never owned them, never bought one, never sold one. And I feel really, really good about that. But yeah, so I shared that on my Facebook. It's done. I knew it was a scheme anyway. I could never call it a scam, right? But I could always call it a scheme for sure. You know, like I don't like to label things as scam unless I have hard data. But the hard data I had did say it was a scheme. And schemes and scams are two completely different things. Any other questions out there, guys? Let's go ahead and check. Yes, difficulty is higher as well. Yeah, difficulty is higher. Yeah, Matt, BitConnect is a scam. Well, like I just said, there's a difference between a scheme and a scam, and I don't have hard data to say. Well, now I have hard data to say it's a scam because they're looks like they're just taking everybody's money and running. So I can probably agree with you now that it's a scam. Before, I couldn't call it a scam because people were making money, but I could always call it a scheme. That's for sure. You should show the difference in cost and profitability of cloud versus hardware. Show cost of the gigahash on Cloudflare and what you need to create the same gigahash as with hardware. Actually, Aaron, I did that. In my previous video, not the one I did yesterday, but the one I did before that. I did a comparison between the cost of cloud mining per gigahash and buying hardware and what the potential earnings are as a comparison. Why does Hashflare take ages paying? I don't know what you mean, how they take ages. They take ages? I don't understand what you mean by they take ages. If you do the math on the returns, like it doesn't matter which cloud mining service you really go with. If you do the mathematics on the returns and that, basically I'm earning legitimately what any mining calculator says, less my fees, which are working out to it's $3.50 per 10 terahashes. So 35 cents a terahash is my fees per day. So 10 terahashes is $3.50. Works out to, it was like 14.8% or something I'm paying in fees for my mining at Hashflare, if that helps at all. And I looked into some other cloud mining services. Just the cost per terahash was higher with other cloud mining companies. You can only take out 0.05 from you can take out more than that if you have more. The minimum withdrawal right now is 0.05 from Hashflare, and the reasoning behind that is because their withdraw system, their payment processor they're using is Block.io, which I once coded a website with Block.io. It is the most inefficient payout system that there is. So they were, I can vouch with what Hashflare has said from my own programming and administration knowledge and experience. They came out and they put out a statement saying that they have to raise the minimum withdrawal because of transaction fees, and Block.io's transaction fees that they charge are like 10 times what a normal freaking wallet charges. It's absolutely retarded, and their batch processing for transactions is totally inefficient. So they charge the cost of withdrawing through and using Block.io as a payment processor is way higher than if you just coded up a blockchain API script or use something like Coin Payments. My current website is using Coin Payments, which is way better service than Block.io. Like hands down, unbelievably way better service. But yeah, the 0.05 withdraw, minimum withdraw, they enacted that in December, along with the parabolic increase of transaction fees, and they are currently in the process of developing a new payment system so that they can eliminate the 0.05 minimum withdraw. For me, I don't care if that's the minimum withdraw because I don't plan on taking out any less than that anyway. Like I want to be doing 0.05 a day. You know, like that's where I want to end up. So I don't care if that's the minimum myself. But I definitely understand for people who don't want to build up to 20 and 30 and 50 and $100,000, you know, worth of cloud mining going on. I definitely understand, and I see that as an issue, even if it doesn't affect me. But they did put out a statement that they are working on a new payment system. So that should get alleviated, and hopefully within the next, you know, month or two, that'll be a problem solved. Give me a second. I'm going to turn on some light here because I'm really dark. It's 20 after 5 up here in Canada, and it starts getting dark around now. So get pretty dark in here for the camera. Yeah, any other questions, guys? No other questions? I'll give you guys a second if you think of any questions. Or anything else crypto related. I'm happy to talk about anything crypto related, whether it's covered in this video or not. But yeah, as far as Aaron was saying there about, you know, comparing the cost, you know, cost per terahash between cloud mining and buying hardware. In another video, I did some cost analysis on that. The cost of hardware versus cloud mining. Cloud mining was about 10% more expensive to buy than hardware, obviously because the companies have to make money on that. But the benefit is you get to start mining today instead of in 3 or 4 months from now when your hardware gets delivered, because you can't buy hardware, you know, a SHA-256 ASIC mining machine. You can't buy one and have it shipped out same day. You got to pre-order them 3 and 4 months ahead of time in order to get them. So by then you lose half your profitability anyway because difficulty jumps so much. To me, for SHA-256, it's a lot smarter to be investing in cloud mining than in hardware. Now, as far as other coins, that's not true. But in SHA-256, it's definitely true. So that's why I cloud mine in Bitcoin, and I'm going to hardware mine at home myself for other coins. And also the costs, like the daily cost, when you're cloud mining, you have a maintenance fee, right? So you pay so much in fees, you know, per terahash that you have running, because the companies have to pay a power bill, and they're also providing a service of managing your hardware for you, right? So they have costs associated with that, so they charge fees. So basically right now it costs me 15% of my earnings as a fee in order for Hashflare to, you know, pay my power bill and manage my machines for me. And to me, I consider that fair, because when I had, I mean, I cost out my power costs on mining hardware. So my power cost works out to it's about 9 or 10% of my earnings. If I were to order an Antminer S9 and plug it into the wall and start mining with that, I still got to pay 10% to my power company. And in this case, cloud mining, I'm paying 15% to Hashflare to mine for me, right? So, and the benefit is that I don't have to wait 3 or 4 months to have my hardware and start earning. I get to pay for it today and start mining and earning today, right? So To me, there's benefit and value in that, so I don't mind paying 15% in fees to Hashflare. So yeah, something you guys should do when you're analyzing cloud mining, okay, and trying to decide what company you want to go with. Like, if you guys want to get in Hashflare, shoot me an inbox. I'll send you a link. I appreciate it if you use my link. If you don't, you want to use some other cloud mining, like Matt. He's got some cloud mining services as well. Some great ones, especially if you're overseas. If you're in USA or Canada, you got to use a VPN to get into his. Still a great service. I don't think I did a cost analysis for mine versus his company, but he has a great company that he's with as well that definitely he recommends. Has a great affiliate program as well. If you want to check out his numbers, feel free to give Matt Feast an inbox and get some numbers off of him about cloud mining. But yeah, to me, guys, it's very important to do a cost comparison between different companies, and see what kind of value I'm gonna get out of it for the money I'm putting in, right? So that's the reason I went with Hashflare. But there's so many other companies out there that you can go with, and just do your research, guys. But yeah, if you want in Hashflare, shoot me an inbox. If you want some other ones, Matt Feast has some great companies out there as well that he's working with, and he's a six-figure earner in mining. Like, what are you making, Matt? I know you cleared $100,000 a year in mining revenue is what you're doing. He's rocking it out of the park, right? I might pick on companies sometimes, or pick on cloud miners. I know I did some videos before about why mining sucks, and compared to my trading income, it does suck, but it's a legitimate business, and whether I pick on a company or pick on cloud mining or pick on anybody, it's I do so out of genuine concern for my followers to bring them the best information I can. But at all given times, it's still mutual respect with other entrepreneurs out there for sure. So if you guys are looking to follow somebody else in cloud mining who is also an expert in that specific niche, I mean, Matt Feast is a great one. Any other questions out there, guys? No questions? Well, if there's no questions, I'll go ahead. I'm going to wrap up this video before all you guys get bored and jump off. And, yeah. I got a bunch of inboxes coming in my Discord. Sure. All right, guys, no more questions. Then I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, guys, just stay safe, stay profitable, and buy the fucking dip.